This is Slippery When Said. If you don't know of the American Family Association, be grateful, but less so because I'm about to ruin your day. The American Family Association began as what was called the National Federation for Decency. It was started by Donald Wildmon's fake story that on a lone night in December 1976, he and his family sat down to watch TV, and they couldn't watch anything because every show had sex, violence, or profanity. As far as Donald knew, this was a call from God, a purpose. Make media boring. He quit his job and then he started the National Federation for Decency. His wife had to start working to pay the bills because, surprise, surprise, the National Federation for Decency wasn't making any money. The first campaign was called Turn the Television Off Week. This call to action was based on Wildmon's feelings, really, but he claimed that he had done a survey, and the survey that he himself conducted, with no peer reviews, revealed that 54% of all TV shows had sexual content, and that of that sex, 90% of it was adulterous. He's talking about 1977, by the way, the year where Laverne and Shirley reigned supreme and Happy Days hadn't jumped the shark yet. Oh, and let's not forget the overtly horny Little House on the Prairie, as well as the barely scantily clad Charlie's Angels. I understand times have changed, but Common Sense Media graded both Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days as being appropriate for ages 7 and up. All in the Family wasn't as squeaky clean as the previous two, but the sexual programming, as Wildmon called it, was innuendos and characters talking about their experiences. I don't think he would care, but it's worth noting that All in the Family is a beloved show, lauded for its writing, ranked 4th on the best written TV series of all time list by the Writers Guild of America. And on the note of adultery, as is almost always the case with any media, when it does come up, as well as in All in the Family, it is a bad thing, and the character is judged for it, and the audience is intended to feel disappointed and sympathize with the victim. They're not celebrating it. It's a thing that happens, and the show is dealing with it. But even if I grant the fact that adultery isn't all in the family, he claimed that half of TV programming had sexual content, and that 90% of that sexual content was adulterous. How? How is that even possible? That isn't even true today, and we live in the most debaucherous timeline, objectively. In a paper about the history of the National Federation for Decency, the paragraph about the TV boycott ended with, "Yet while he received some press attention for his television boycott, there was no proof that anyone had actually turned off his set." So, we don't have any record of failure or success, but it unfortunately didn't matter to Wildmon because he didn't stop. His next bright idea was to bother Sears and to get them to stop advertising in debaucherous TV shows. Him and his cronies staged demonstrations outside Sears stores and in front of the actual Sears building in Chicago, and it worked. Sears canceled its Three's Company and Charlie's Angels ads. This is really a terrible turning point for not only America, but for him as well, because this is the definitive beginning of his villain arc. He realized that bullying worked. He went after a book and a movie with no success, and he blamed CBS when a mom killed her child in a similar way to a death in Exorcist 2. Outside CBS, a sign read, "CBS controlled by Satan." Times have not changed much. Thank you for mopping. Patreon.com/moppish. There's a poll right now where you can vote on the next thing to go into the Divine Order. We have a weekly exclusive show there, The Mop, indie game content, and Q&As, and you can ask me anything and be involved in this scrappy little channel in its infancy. So, like, follow, subscribe, you know the things. But if you don't want to do any of those things, and do want to contribute, please go vote for the poll at patreon.com/moppish. Thank you.